Hello, everybody. This is Freehaven, and I am June. Today is a very special day because we have the Earth 2 E2V1 video that has been long awaited, showcasing everything that they have been working on for the last year. Is it good? Is it not? I don't know. But a little bird told me that if you're wearing socks, you should prepare, because this may blow them off. We're going to have a look at it together, and I'm going to make commentary on what is good, what is bad. Let's begin. All right. Here we go. I am going to... We're not going to do sound on this because we got to avoid a copyright claim. All right, here we go. We're starting. No sound this time because the music is copyrighted. All right, so we have a flyover the globe. Shane really loves his flyovers. Zooming in. Earth 2. The video. All right. This looks nice. It's not something that we haven't seen before. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a pretty environment, but is this wowing me relative to what we've seen before? Not really. But granted, this is just the opening. So they can move the sun around. And yeah, I mean, this is a cool looking environment. It looks nice. E2V1. I mean, I can see why somebody would call this relaxing, as Shane has claimed many times in his other videos. Okay, what's with the capitalization? Maybe it's just like a one-time thing, but they made some odd choices there with the text on the screen. The Earth 2. The geolocational. The metaverse. That didn't really make sense. The geolocational, that's not a noun. Anyone edit this? It's glory. Show me the glory. Explore, discover, and... I mean, I'm making fun, but I mean, this does look nice. I mean, it's visually appealing, but it's not new. Remote output post LV246. That is the setting of the movie Aliens. I don't see any aliens here. There are no xenomorphs yet. Okay, what's going on with this avatar? Wait. Why is she so... Wait, what's... Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, why is she so shiny? Like, they've got these... They're going... So, okay, for a long time, they've been going on about making this, like, this, super realistic environment, but this avatar, like, look how shiny she is. I mean, like, why are her pants reflecting light like plastic? I mean, this is like G.I. Joe. Well, her hair looks good, so maybe like G.I. Joe and Barbie had a baby and it moved to Earth 2. I mean, this is not really what I expect for, a realistic avatar from a project that's claims that they're going for realism. I mean, she literally looks plastic. But it's nice to see that they do have an avatar moving around the city. So that's good. Like, yeah, look how reflective she is. Like, why does she look like she's like, you know, plastic or claymation? Okay, so if you can see it, you can go there. I mean, that's kind of a nice... Okay, why is sheer capitalized? That's weird. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I like the tagline, if you can see it, you can go there, because it captures the essence of having this, you know, immersive world that, you know, expands an entire globe. So I do like that. I do not like the avatar design, and I'm not quite sure why there was an Aliens reference tucked in there. So, what is this? Antarctica? There's not much happening up here. And what's going on with the capitalization? Okay. So, why is foundations capitalized here? I don't think anybody, like whoever was responsible for the text, I don't think that they edited this. For one, like, okay, why are they using Arial font? That's like the default font for, you know, many applications. Arial or Times New Roman, so that's weird. And why do we keep having like random words capitalized in the middle? That's weird. Like, I mean, considering that this was delayed 2 weeks and they told me that they were working, you know, super hard on this, you'd think that they would have had somebody go over their text. I mean, we've already had one grammar error, and now we're having capitalization, and then we have like Arial font, and that's just weird to me, because usually, you know, a big company like this would be, you know, trying to look more professional, less homemade, and Arial kind of speaks to homemade. But again, I mean, credit where credit's due. This does look nice. It's just, what? No, whoa. Wait. Stop. What was that animation? What the hell? That is not... Okay. I officially hate the avatars. They're pitching this photorealistic world. They've been doing it since the beginning, when I first saw that Inception video. And now they have people falling in slow motion with like this weird body, like, oh, body language. And then somehow, like, it's weird. Like, and you know, we've been hearing so much about the physics of this. That didn't seem to work with physics for me. Like, I mean, she doesn't have a parachute, so why is she going so slow when she falls in such a weird, unnatural position and then landing on her feet? Yeah, like and her whole body's reflective, which is weird. It's weird. And we have a Mentor. Hello, Mentor. Hello, drone thingy. To unlock. Sure you don't want to capitalize unlock? Opportunities on your land. So this is, again, it looks nice. It's just not that special relative to what we've seen already. It's not blowing me away. I mean, it'll be nice when the consumer can actually engage with this, but we can't now, so it's really just a video. I mean, it's not really helping me to get excited. It's also a place where you can do the unimaginable. Okay. Okay, I've got to say, I feel like you're severely underestimating my imagination, because I can imagine a lot of things. And I don't think you're going to be able to exceed that. That's a very big promise. So, okay, this car is bothering me. So the car, again, this is kind of the same issue I had with the Avatar. Look how the surrounding scenery is very lifelike. You can see that they're going for photorealism. And then you have this car like this, and it looks like it's a toy. It looks like it's made out of plastic. And like it's, you know, it's not even Hot Wheels, because those are metal, aren't they? Like, I don't know. It's like a little kid's RC car. And again, you know, if you're going for an immersive world, something like this can break immersion. I'm not a fan of these textures. I mean, it's almost like you have different, like the teams aren't really talking to each other to get each other on the same page. The motion is okay. Well, let me go back. Speaking of wheels, let's go back. You see how shiny these wheels are? Again, they kind of look like plastic. You know, if you're going for realism, you're going to want to have them look dirty and not reflective. I mean, you don't even need to add the dirt. Just make it so that it's not, you know, throwing sunlight every which direction, like it's made out of, you know, metal or glass. It's the same thing with the girl. And now we have wheels capitalized again for some unknown reason. The metaverse should not feel like you're inside a shoebox. So you're putting that in quotes. Don't you mean sandbox, since that's your competitor? Like, who said the word shoebox that you're quoting? I've never heard of someone say, oh, I don't like metaverses. It feels like I'm in a shoebox. Like, never have I ever said that. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say this either. So that's a little bit weird as well. I mean, yeah, it shouldn't feel like you're in a shoebox, but, you know, it all, minds and expansive are capitalized. Please edit your stuff. You're making us look bad. But yeah, it shouldn't feel like you're in a shoebox, but it also shouldn't feel like you're inside of, I don't know, like a bouncy house. I mean, it shouldn't feel like either one of those things. You don't need to advertise it. Why is ownership capitalized? Please edit your stuff. This is driving me crazy. Edit your shit. It looks unprofessional. All right, so now we're down on the ground. We've got our plastic girl, Barbie, G.I. Joe, bastard love child. She's a Snow. Kyung Snow. And okay, so we can see tiles on the special 3D map. All right, okay, so now they're zooming in, I assume from one interface. Now they're comparing to the other interface. I mean, we kind of saw this. It's not really that special. It's kind of the bare minimum. But since they're establishing that all the tiles are you know, they carry over directly into this 3D world. Again, we have this same problem with Mercator projection. So now either the tiles in Antarctica, like in those snow-covered places we saw at the beginning, are super small and you're going to need to have 1 million of them just to build something, or this virtual world is actually bigger than Earth if they're still claiming that every tile is 19 point whatever meters square. Because they can't have both. They can't have a globe with square tiles and have them all be the same exact size on the map. It's one or the other. But anyways, so yeah, we're looking at, okay, so we got some balls, or a ball, a blue ball, and then we have many blue balls. I guess this is to represent the customers that have been waiting so long for a playable 3D interface because they've all got the blue balls and they can't get their metaverse-gasm. Not at this time. So, okay. I kind of feel like a lot of these biomes kind of look the same as like what we've been seeing this entire time. Like we have grassy hills and forests and ice, but we've yet to see a real desert. We've never seen a beach. We've never seen the tropics. We've never seen weather like a nice rain. Look how, oh my god. Okay. I know I've complained about this, but okay, I'm going back. I'm sorry, but the avatar's driving me nuts. Okay, look at this. Why is she made out of plastic? Look how realistic they're trying to make the environment. And now we have this like plastic G.I. Joe thing. Girl, lady. I don't understand what they're thinking. Why? And these eyes, it's so fake. It's cartoon. Don't sell us a project based on realism and give us cartoons and action figures. Environment, I'm giving it a 10 for how it looks. Avatars, I'm maybe a 3 or a 4, simply because like they don't match the environment. Like they're very incongruous, and it doesn't fit with the promises of the project that we've received, which is like this hyper realistic environment waiting for you to build. All right, so I guess this is a drone or a sidroid. That's what they're calling them, a sidroid. I'm not sure what these are. I guess it's one of the two, a drone or a sidroid or a... Why is build capitalized? For fuck's sake. Okay. Welcome to your future. So it's not your future, it's only mine. Oh, shoot, I just hit my microphone. My bad. Okay, so now we're seeing an urban landscape. So this kind of looks like what we saw in the dev logs, but now they've kind of pieced all these things together. And it looks nice, but one of my concerns, and it's the same concern that I had before, is that if players aren't able to build their own structures, and I mean, in an ideal world where these are all NFTs, we'd be able to upload our own models and be able to have truly customized buildings and textures. This would be fantastic. I guess a second, like the next solution under that would be to have a builder akin to The Sims or, similar games where you can actually create unique buildings. However, I haven't seen anything from Earth 2 that indicates that that's what they're going for. And if that's the case, there's a real concern about all of the cities starting to look the same, because you're going to see the same buildings repeated constantly all over the map. I mean, even if they gave players 200 different buildings to choose from that they can buy from Earth 2 directly, I mean, it sounds like a lot in the beginning, but you get tired of seeing them over and over when you're dealing with thousands and thousands of plots and thousands of users. I mean, there's going to be so much overlap, and suddenly, like, the cities don't have any personality or flair or individuality, and neither do the plots. But you see, like, look, let's pay attention to the buildings as we come through here, and we'll see, like, if we can see repeated structures. I'm kind of stopping and... All right, so you see this circle thing kind of in the middle. It's white next to this orange thing. I know I've seen that before several times. Over here, this orange and the purple on the left-hand side. You can see they've just copied and pasted this building. Right in the front here, it's the same exact building in the front, this white thing. It's just turned 90 degrees. And then you have this white thing that in the middle that I first referenced next to the orange building. So these are all buildings that have been pre-made that people will just drop on their plots. And while I'm sure this will be exciting in the beginning, it's not sustainable long-term for player engagement, because this isn't a Sim City kind of thing. I mean, the attraction is the intricacy and the details of the world. And when you're giving basically, canned buildings and houses, everything looks the same, and it's the exact opposite of individuality. And I mean, comparing to like a Sim City kind of thing, people don't buy and play that game to customize their space and their buildings because they all look the same. But when you're talking about an immersive experience, that is going to be more important. And looks like there's some kind of dancing person there. I actually already knew about this one because I got a lot of screenshots in Discord and on Facebook asking me if they animated one of my holo buildings. And actually, no, like, she's wearing different clothes than any of my holos, but I mean, I could definitely see myself making something like that. But no, that is not my creation. So let's see. But yeah, moving through, I mean, you can see more of the same kind of buildings being repeated many times. Another concern that I have is, wow, look how many are repeated here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, lots of repeated structures dropped in place. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Another thing that concern I have is that Earth 2, so in the beginning, they didn't make any promises about what theme that they were going to have. We didn't know if this is going to be sci-fi. We didn't know if this is going to be medieval fantasy or modern. I mean, we were told Ready Player One, which can be anything, and The Matrix, which again was, well, 1990. Was it 1996 or 1999? I don't remember. I think it was 1996. But everything we've seen from Earth 2 now is catering to this, like, kind of like, Lego style science fiction future thing. And also, like, if you look at the textures in all these buildings, they don't really look real. They look more like a children's play set. So again, this is straying from like the photorealistic qualities that they were going for the land and environment. And like whoever's like doing their textures like aren't doing a very good job of matching it to the world that they've created, like the landscape with the grass and the trees and the sky that's supposed to be super realistic. But anyways, back to what I was saying about, you know, the themes of the city. Everything we see here is very sci-fi. It's like, you know, near future sci-fi. But if you think about the mega cities in Earth 2, we have a lot of themed ancient history and fantasy and medieval mega cities and guilds. And I'm not sure they're quite hitting the mark for the people that are looking for that kind of experience. Like Valhalla, I mean, this is not what I think of when I think of the Vikings. There's Katakirk, which is a medieval fantasy city. There is Kings or Knights of Malta. I know there's more of them. There's the Hellenic Republic. All of those, like, people are imagining making these cities with a certain aesthetic in mind. But right now, like, they're kind of leaning into this kind of sci-fi, semi-near future aesthetic that is also a bit cartoony. So yeah, I have some concerns about that. So we have the dancing girl. We have a floating train. So we're just floating. We're disembodied. Okay, so I think that's actually kind of a good thing that they included the avatar dropping out of whatever was carrying her, like the drone or whatever her vehicle was, because it really demonstrates how a person can move around the map and get to other places. Because it wasn't always clear whether this would be a situation where you have to click on a portal and just get zoned in, or if you can, you know, ride in a vehicle and then get out of it, or, you know, mount a horse or something and dismount. So I think it is good to see them showing this, you know, exiting process, because it makes it clear that this person was traveling in a vehicle and then getting out. And this was not abundantly clear before, because this video doesn't have any user interface components. So it was difficult to tell if this is just like, you know, a movie based on their 3D world, or if this is what the customer can actually expect. And I guess, I mean, to be fair, we still don't know that, because again, we don't see any elements of user interface here. But to see that the character actually is getting out of something, it shows like we can kind of begin to imagine what it's going to look like when people are actually playing this. Like, you know, how transportation is facilitated. Okay, so the animation here. Okay, again, I don't like these avatars. Like, why is she walking like she has like she took a dump in her pants and she's, you know, trying to get to the bathroom so she can change her clothes without anybody noticing and without getting poop all over her leg? Look at this stiff leg. Oh, no. Okay. Don't let anybody see. Like, yeah, this animation for this avatar, yuck. Okay, so I like this. I mean, assuming that this is not something that they just sell pre-done for you, if you can actually do the interior design, then I'm going to call this part a win. I like this. I like that, you know, this appears to be player housing. Okay, so I have a question about this, if this is just something done for the video or something that we can actually expect from the platform, because this is very clearly a YouTube video, or, you know, whatever file format they decided to use. Let's just say MP4. Is this something that you can actually choose to display on your Earth 2 TV? Or is this just something that they edited into the video with Premiere for, you know, to make it look nice. I kind of feel like the resolution here doesn't like this screen doesn't really fit with the surrounding thing, but it doesn't mean that it's not playing a video file, because that would be the case even if it was streaming the video. It wouldn't match the surrounding graphics. But I do hope that you can, you know, link it up to YouTube or your own playlists, because that would mean that, you know, it's highly customizable, and I'm all about the customization. So I do like this. I like having personal spaces, and, you know, it's important that you be able to customize them. Okay, so this is the holo projector. Oh, okay, we just skipped to a couple of the rooms. So, okay, so someone's bedroom. It would have been nice if they gave players a sense of how many tiles you need to actually have this space. Oh, I see something about user interface here. So I see right click to grab, and I guess just move your mouse to rotate. Okay, so now that's some element of user interface. That's good. I assume that the movement is driven by the arrow keys. Okay. Anyway, so now we have a sci-fi office personal space. Again, we don't know how many tiles we need to actually build something like this. Yeah, I see. So this is another thing that, I mean, I hope that they do, but I'm not sure if it's real or not. This is clearly the Earth 2 loading page, or the landing page, if you're not signed in. And if you can actually have an internet browser within the 3D environment, I like that. I think that's pretty cool. But again, I can't tell if this is something that they just edited into the video, or if this is just like a JPEG that they used as a skin for a flat panel. But I do hope that this is actually a browser that will be able to be used within the game. Okay, so I don't know what caught my attention there that I wanted to comment on, but okay, so we got the automatic doors. All right, this is kind of looking a little bit fake. We're moving away from realism now. We've got the virtual shop. Okay. Nothing here is exciting me. I guess that's your resources there. Those are drones. And we have cards for moderators. I'm not sure why anybody would want to collect those. I mean, no offense, Eugene. I know we're in some of the same servers together, but I don't see the point of your trading card or anyone else's. It's not just you. Auto AI military. Okay. I mean, this kind of looks like a giant toy store. I mean, everything here looks like plastic and toys. Nothing here is really striking me as, wow, it's so realistic. Wait, let me go back. Did that... Oh, I went back too far. All right. Well, we're going to have another look. So, civil builds, auto AI military. Is it me, or does that door look very vaginal? It's like you're... Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay, there's a problem. There's a good thing and a bad thing in this thing. Okay, go back. Okay, now we're heading towards the vagina. Open it. Okay. I'll start with the good here. It looks like Earth 2 took one of my suggestions to heart. So after we got the first glimpse of the holo building projection, I gave some feedback to the team, and I said that it would be really nice if we could blow up the hollow buildings and use them as decor for parties or just to decorate our space. And it looks like they've added this capability, which I'm very happy about. It gives the artistic hollow sculptures a place and like some value beyond just storing resources. And you know, if they give us more ability to customize them and to, you know, change so they're not always blue like this and add skins to them, that would be even better. So this is very good, and I applaud them for doing this, because now, I mean, you know, if you have like 20 sculptures, you can, you know, set up like a classy gala and have a party and, you know, use them for your decor. But the thing that made me that just took me aback is that how many times have we heard Shane use the word copycat since, you know, in the last, let's say, year and a half? He's so worried about other people threatening his intellectual property. Very worried about that. Now, we're looking at this paused part of the video. What's wrong with this picture? Give up? What is this a hollow building of? My, that looks a lot like Star Wars. This is one of the biggest promotional video that Earth 2 has made since the original video that I saw where they were demoing, you know, the hills in Austria. And Shane has been worried about people copying Earth 2, and yet he's using Star Wars to promote his business. Did Disney license this to him? I can't help but feel like this is a bit hypocritical coming from someone that is so focused on not wanting people to copy him, and then he goes and steals a Star Wars creation to promote his metaverse. That is problematic. Oh, again, I can't help but feel like that's not vaginal. Like, I feel like this whole building, this whole shop is full of vaginas. Like, vagina over here, vagina over there. And then there's like these, you see there's floating vaginas. Oh, there's a big one on the door that you have to go into the vagina to get to the stuff you want to buy. Like, this is a bit arrogant, like to put their, you know, their pictures in like a trading card. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. All right. So we're outside of the interior of the building. We're back. We're looking at the city. I do like that we have a park here, but again, like all of these buildings are really carbon copied. Like, look at the right hand side of the screen. These are literally the same exact building, copied and pasted. So this shows me that this tells me that these are not buildings that players can actually build and create. It's really just a pre-done asset that people just drop on their land that someone else made. So there's not a lot of room for customization. And behind, you know, the building with the lights on the right, you can see another one of these white buildings from the beginning of the video. I mean, it's all the same building, just repeated over and over again. And you know, it looks nice for this first glimpse, but it's going to get old really fast when you have an entire planet to populate with this stuff. And again, with the capitalizations, why is day capitalized? Why is night capitalized? And why are they using Arial font? No Arial from a multi-million-dollar company. Say no to Arial. Not sure why some cars are hover cars, some cars are on the ground. There's a little confusion there. Flying train, okay. You see, it's the same white building that we saw before. Like, it's just the same thing copied over and over and over and over again. There is no player creativity. There's nothing that really makes it custom and unique to the player who owns the land. It's just, you know, yeah. You see, Sidroids, with all capital B, buildings, vehicles, Sidroids, jewels, resources, and more. Sidroids, Sidroids. Either way, it sounds ridiculous. Another thing, and this is going to be a topic for another video. Why are players capitalized? Again, didn't you have anybody edit the text? Why? Why didn't anybody edit this? Like, don't you have the budget for proofreaders? Come on, man. Anyways, and it says 100% tradable between players for E-dollars, which can be withdrawn in USD. And yes, at the bottom of the video, it says in the fine print that $1 equals 1 USD, but sometimes they say this without indicating that. You know, never mind. I'll talk about it in another video because I have a problem with getting some financial documentation from Earth 2, and they refused to say that 1 E-dollar was worth 1 USD. But that is another topic for another video. So, yeah, okay. So, I mean, it looks okay. It doesn't look realistic. It looks, again, it looks like, you know, toy cars and stuff. The Earth 2 metaverse will slowly evolve into an immersive 3D platform made up of game elements you can play. And then do all this other stuff, because I didn't finish reading before the text disappeared. Discover, okay. All right, we've got GI Barbie. Okay, so now she's going into a portal for drone. And this I actually kind of like. I mean, we've seen the drone demos before, so I don't have much to say about this gameplay. But I had been wondering how the drone game was going to be integrated into the Earth-Tooth platform. And from what I see in this video, it looks like the player will have to go through a portal, which will then launch the drone app. And I mean, it's nice to know that you can do that and like have like a games town where you can go into different portals to play different games. But at the same time, it's also a little disappointing because it also suggests that you're not going to be able to fly around your tiles and your property using the drone game mechanics and vehicles. So that's a bit unfortunate, but it's nice to see now something concrete that shows how these games are going to be integrated. Basically, it looks like you go through a portal and then it takes you into another instance, and you know, it basically loads the game, at that spot, and I'm sure that will determine like what other players you have access to PvP with and so forth. Okay, so now I'm not sure what that thing is flying, some kind of airplane or drone. We have the dancing girl. Okay, we've got the same plastic car. I mean, again, this doesn't really impress me that much because we've gone from like, striving for photorealism outside to, like children's play set style aesthetics inside the city. And that doesn't really sit with me. I feel like it needs to be more consistent. I mean, if they weren't going for photorealistic elsewhere, I would not be complaining so much about this. But when I see so many inconsistencies like that and something that differs so much from what their stated objectives are, it worries me because, I mean, this isn't a question of developing the technology. It's basically, creating skins that look more realistic and less cartoony. And that's not something that needs a huge leap in technology to do. I mean, okay, this is nice, I guess. We have the dancing girl again. I'm noticing that all of the video is taking place in a very small area, so it kind of makes me question like how much of the world they actually have developed. Or if this is just like, a few city blocks that they've made for this video. So let's see, we have GI Barbie walking around, and I don't know what we're doing. Looks like she did not take care of the dump that must be in her pants because she's still walking stiff-legged and a little angry with the clenched fists. Uh-oh, but now she's at a dance party. Not going to be able to hide it. Yeah, I mean, this kind of has the feel of, they have dances in a lot of games. I mean, I play WoW, so it reminds me of the dances in World of Warcraft. If this is going to be like a VR chat kind of thing, I would really hope that they do something with motion trackers so that, you can control your avatar with moving your body. Let's go back there because So there actually is a lot of stuff here that I like. I really like the graphics here. I think the city looks better at night, probably because the colors and textures are hidden by darkness. But I really like the ambiance, but I don't like the avatars at all. The avatars just they don't fit with what we've been promised, and it doesn't fit with the realism element of the world. That said, I really do like the environment here. I like the fireworks in the background. I like the holographic rock band. That is really cool. This is like a good foundation for a nice game environment where I can see people, wanting to hang out. But you're going to need to give people reasons to want to come here and do things. So, I don't think that just having, conversations in a 3D world is going to be enough after the first several months. So just be mindful that you need to give people stuff to do. And I think that being able to, for example, being able to integrate your own media, like, with playlists and soundtracks for what the band is playing, your own YouTube playlists and video files, like on those screens that we saw in the, the personal living area, that is going to go a long way because then you can have, for example, watch parties, music concerts at places like Cosmic Charlie's. So I see a lot of potential for that. But again, you need to really move away from these out of the box kind of assets. You need to make them as customizable as possible and be able to allow people to personalize things as much as they can and get away from the cartoony stuff. I really hate this. Yeah, this like dancing hologram girl, um, it kind of reminds me of Blade Runner, I think. I mean, I've seen that in movies. I'm not surprised to see something like that here. I do like all the fireworks. I mean, the city looks a lot nicer at night. I mean, when you can't see, like, look how much better it looks in the middle here and on the right side of the screen compared to where the sun hits. I mean, when you hide the textures of the buildings, everything looks a lot nicer and it looks amazing. But, you know, once you light everything up and you can see like the kind of cartoony aesthetic, it's really unfortunate. Excuse me. All right, so we're leaving the city now. And we're now doing another flyover. It's one of their favorite things. So I see ice and I see forests and I see grasslands, but are we going to get to see some, again, are we going to see some more diversity in terms of the biomes? Because I feel like we're seeing, they're constantly showing us the same kind of things. So is this the desert that I've been asking for? I mean, it's not that, like, this does not make me feel like this is real. So, okay, remember when I talked about how I liked how we could see them getting out of the vehicle? I would have liked to see her get in the vehicle as well. But, oh. Okay, thanks. You just showed me. Not sure why you would have to go to a station to get inside your vehicle, but okay. So, I mean, this is, okay, so this is a desert. I feel like not as much effort has been put into this environment compared to the other ones. I would still like to see something coastal. I would like to see different weather. The car, again, it looks better when you turn the lights out because then you can't see the textures that make it look cheap and plasticky. So I guess these are going to be the, oh yeah, so, okay, so, and rating. So these are the side droids, sidroids, whatever the silly new word is. Okay. Not quite sure what we're supposed to be excited about here. The plastic human model walking stiff-legged like she has a dump in her pants. Really don't like that animation. I don't like the avatars. Nothing about that is a win for me, except that they exist. The fact that they exist is good. I will admit that, but the aesthetic just clashes so much. I think we've been ready for a very long time. Are you ready is the question. Okay, whatever. You know, don't invite people to sign up for Earth 2 when you're showing them this, when you don't have anything even remotely close to that on your website. That's just, it's breeding disappointment. I mean, you're raising expectations so high, people will go to the site, make their account, think they're buying something for Christmas that they can use like they see in this video, and, you know, they're not going to be able to. And then you're going to have more complaints like you've had for the last year and a half. And why is hundreds of thousands of people capitalized. Oh my gosh, whoever edited this needs to be fired. They don't understand basic English capitalization. In some cases, we've seen grammar errors. Like, what the hell? This is really bothering me. Like, I mean, was a really important video. Like, they don't think that it's like, and they can't spare the funds to hire a proper copy editor. Come on, man. Like, they don't know the difference between work in progress. Like, why is this capitalized? Like, they don't know the difference between a proper noun and a regular noun, or what would cause a word to be capitalized. This like, I don't understand why they would cheapen their brand like this, and then using the Arial font, or Arial, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it's very large. Yes, it's very complicated. Okay. I mean, look at this. Look at the images here. I mean, I'll just talk while the camera's moving. I mean, this looks like they're going for photorealism. So why are they trying to do a photorealistic land environment with a cartoon like avatar and vehicle assets? Like, why are they doing that? I mean, it makes it look like you don't know what you're trying to do. It makes it look like you don't know what your goal is. So, okay. And that's the end of the video. Closing thoughts. Hold on. Let's get this back. So, I mean, okay. The video wasn't bad. There were things that I liked. Most of my complaints are about the design choices that they've made going into this relative to what we've been told we can expect, because I understand if there's a situation where the technology just hasn't been invented yet to do something, but when you're dealing with the appearance of avatars and the appearance of the vehicles and the appearance of the textures on your buildings, that's not technology that hasn't been invented yet. And you're making a conscious choice to present them in this kind of cartoony way. And that is very disappointing, because we were sold on a realistic environment. And I mean, I could even give it a pass if the environment was cartoony and not photorealistic so that it matched, or if you had different styles of buildings and avatars, some that looked photorealistic, some that looked like cartoons, that I can work with. But from what I see, they haven't really even put any effort into making things look real. I mean, it's all like, you know, the vehicles look like plastic toys. The buildings look like kind of like, honestly, I mean, this is going to show my age, but it reminded me of an old advertisement for our like SimCity 2000, like the promotion art. I mean, it just didn't look real. It looked like a toy, and that's not the vision you've been selling this whole time. So we really need to see some realism in terms of the urban environments and the avatars, to make me feel like you kind of know what your vision is, because right now the vision is a bit muddled. So yeah, so that is a concern for me. That said, I do like that you have it so you can blow up the hollow buildings. Of course, as a hollow builder, that's a very important element of this. I would have liked to have seen more utility for them. But it is what it is. I'm I believe that working with what they have, they did make a very nice looking city. The problem, again, as I said, is that all of these assets are like they're cookie cutter assets. I mean, it's the same model that they're just dropping over and over again. They can change the color, but the shape and the appearance is the same. And so very fast, that's going to get boring. I mean, the camera basically just circled around a few city blocks over and over again. And, even then you could see all the repetition there. Like they didn't even have enough created to really diversify this very small area. The things that make me excited though is I really liked seeing like the pictures on the wall in the personal space. Again, I'm really hoping that this is something that's actually in the game and not something that was added post production, or like it added in Premiere or whatever software they use, because being able to decorate your environment with your own, with things that suit your personality, that's important. So I really like that. If they integrate an actual working web browser, I think that's going to be very important, not so much for V1, but when we get to actually having virtual reality and augmented reality. Like speaking as someone whose wife is legally blind, I can see that this would be helpful for someone like her wearing a headset and then having this virtual screen right in front of her and being able to see something that she normally wouldn't be able to see from across the room, like using a web browser or watching a movie. So that could actually be very cool. And then, also, for things like streaming YouTube and videos, or if they could get Netflix integration, you could have watch parties for movies and all kinds of stuff. So I do like that. I feel like the way to make this really fly is to get Earth-2 to connect with services and platforms outside of this Earth-2 ecosystem, so that it connects with the outside world. And once you have that, you start enabling a lot more possibilities in terms of expanding your user experience. Because, when I'm looking at this, it's very cool to think that you can walk around this world for a while, but then what happens after a while? There has to be something that is continually changing to keep the interest level up. And I think one of the easiest ways to do that is, again, to be able to integrate outside media so that you are bringing in like new stimulation from outside of the Earth-2 space. Also, again, I mean, if they start, they need to release an API of some sort so developers can start building stuff to work with their platform. I mean, I've been very kind of disappointed that they haven't been very forthcoming with stuff like that. I mean, they have a portal for drone. I mean, I would really like to be able to, go through another portal for your street fighting thing. And that was a project that I started working on myself. So yeah, I think that there's some good things there. I'm not quite as wowed as a lot of people, but I do think that overall it was pretty good. But I mean, the biggest problems are mostly the design choices that they've made. They haven't really showcased all of the biomes that in a way that I would have really liked to see. I mean, it seems like they've really put a lot of focus on forests and grasslands, but the desert, I mean, I wasn't really moved like by the desert. I mean, I went to school in Palm Springs surrounded by desert, and like being around in that environment didn't make me think, wow, I'm standing in the desert. I felt like I was, you know, I felt like I was taking a trip through a video game desert, which is different from the real thing. Um, which is an important distinction when you're going for photorealism. Again, we still haven't seen anything with beaches. We haven't seen how like the tides work and how that will impact your land. We saw some ice, so I assume those are near the poles. But I would have liked to have seen a lot more diversity in the biomes. Yeah, so I mean, I think that they've made some progress, but it didn't blow my socks off the way that a lot of people were either hoping, or the I guess I'm a bit more critical than a lot of people. I don't think this video is a total fail, but it's not something that just blew my mind. But really, I think that the most important thing here is that we have this video, and because they only showcased a very small part of their world, we really don't know how much they've done. And so it's going to be difficult for me to get really excited about where this project is going until we have more things that the end users, we the customers, can actually interact with. Because I mean, you get to a point where, I mean, you can only hear coming soon or in the future for so long before you get frustrated. And I think that's where a lot of people are now. And this video, I mean, it's nice, but again, I can't actually do any of these things. And again, I'm not really sure why they're advertising for people to make accounts and join after showing a video like this when they can't do any of the things that they showcased in this video. I mean, if you're trying to get a new customer that way, you're basically setting that new customer up for disappointment. So that is my take on it, and bye-bye.